Welcome, everybody. Welcome. So today we're going over a Discord VC in which we see the most blatant manipulation from the one and only Ben Thorp to his daughter Grace. And it is unlike anything I've ever seen in the level of transparency. It's actually part one of the stream I did yesterday. It's the build up to when when Ben's son joins, okay? So, Ben's son ends up joining and they have a whole fiasco. And basically, John just completely humiliates and mogs Ben in every single way. And it triggered Ben and Grace, the narcissist couple, to allegedly, in my opinion, to make a hate slander stream on John and say that they want him. They wouldn't care if he died. They wouldn't shed a tear. All because John was saying, "Hey, Grace, I care about you, but Ben sucks." Okay, and so let's see if that's actually true here, if there's any validity to John being crazy, or if maybe Ben is the crazy one, guys. It's quite clear to see, in my opinion, once you watch this. Like this reminds me, there was a comment and I completely agree with it. Someone says, "Just bleak. Reminds me of the old videos where Ben would bully Courtney to tears and have her blaming her mom for it all," which is so funny because there's somebody in my Discord. I don't know if maybe it's the same person. I don't want to call them out if they aren't, but there's somebody in my Discord who always says the same thing. Actually, I'm not going to be able to find it. I just realized I'm not going to be able to find it. So we're just going to go back to this. But they show a clip of, it's from, no, we're not going into it. But he shows a clip of Courtney crying. Oh, my audio stopped sharing. And Ben being like, "You have mommy issues. You have mommy issues. You have mommy issues." And makes her break down crying. So, yeah, guys, welcome to this. If you're new here, which you're probably not, but if you are, this man is a malignant narcissist, and it's disturbing and it's horrific, but this is seriously unlike anything you've ever seen on the internet before. Like, it's truly, it is in a way a gift to be able to see in real time this play out and not just see somebody, describe how it works. I'm going to share the link, by the way, on my Discord, and then we're going to start playing right away. All right. I'm just going to do a little announcement really quickly. Live now. But yeah, I wish I covered this yesterday, but I think it's probably also good because I'm trying to do shorter streams. But let's just get it started. I'm basically going to play the first 20 minutes for you guys and then hone in on more timestamps.
We got some great news. Can somebody say something just so I can check with my... Anybody, just anything. Doesn't matter.
Why is the speaker up there?
Cause
amazing quality as always.
It's a little loud.
I turned it down a bit.
Okay.
All right, what's up, guys? Thank you, Nikki, for saying that.
But I do love watching this. Like I was just saying, it's a privilege in a disturbing way to be able to see. I hate people who are late. It's very rude. To be able to, this is literally the craziest shit on the internet, in my opinion. So if I can get paid to react to it and pay close attention to it, I will. But here we go.
That. So, give a cigarette. You guys all heard me, or maybe some of you saw that I was complaining. Let me move the camera down a little bit. I was complaining in general earlier about how hellish my life is and how I'm scared that my dad is getting depressed and all that stuff. And I was saying that the Ben and Grace solo arc is perhaps a fail, since it just seems to be getting worse. And that's true. It has been absolutely horrendous. I have not sort of been able to handle it, it would seem. But some good news.
So that's all well and good. Like, I hope that that's the place that you're in. Like that. I mean, it. Like, I'm sorry that you're in that place, Grace, but that's a good pivot point to make a change. And it's funny because right after they did this, as of today, the RV broke down, and got towed. Let me show you guys this. Hold on. There's one photo that the last thing they had left, guys. This is where they live. This is their home. So, yeah, the engine broke down. We'll see. It gets towed, and then I was like, "Where are you gonna go, Grace?" She says, "Burger King." So, I guess they're gonna live in Burger King now. But yeah, it's really funny, the timing of this, and also directly after John was like, if you watched the other stream I did, where John was like, your karma is gonna come grab you by the ankles.
In discussing sort of the issues, I believe I've realized that I don't really have any problems with my dad per se, and this sort of like endless chaos between us is kind of a way of avoiding my main issue, which is, I think, with the way that my entire family has been set up. And I think
so they have
back
money
then,
to
angry
fix
that my mom
it.
sort of despaired.
They have money to fix it, but I don't know if they have money to let me turn my thing off. Get a whole new car if they can't fix it. Hey, thanks, Smoky Guru. No, not Daisy. Yeah, it's a nice RV, but it's like, what do they expect? Someone in my Discord, I think Titus, was like, they haven't done any maintenance on it. They drive it all the time. Why did it get towed? The engine broke, like, it just blew out. I don't know exactly the details. Yeah, there's a multitude of photos that are funny here. So they got it. So Grace says it's going to the Mercedes-Benz dealership. They have 5 days. They have 5 days to get back to Rhode Island for their court date, by the way. That's the first thing that I asked. If you saw the first image that I showed, I was like, how are you going to get around to court and stuff? Like, you have so many court dates. I believe that they're in Massachusetts right now. So, like, Grace says, the power of white men. Such a weird comment. But yeah. So they're going to have to rent a car or some shit. So this will be the test to see if they're lying about their finances, if they have more money than they're alluding to, because if they're really as broke as they are, like, this might be the thing that breaks them.
On the family, and
like, Mercedes maintenance, dude, is mad expensive.
I think that me and my mom have a conflict going on. Oh, sorry.
So it's about to build up really quickly from here, by the way, like right away.
We have a conflict going on that I haven't really addressed for the past 6 years, and I think there's a lot of hope in figuring it out, but I don't think that continuing to pretend like I have like a lot of issues with my dad and I'm gonna just figure out how to work together with him.
These speeches are incredibly boring. You're with your mother, is that correct?
Yeah.
And yet both your mother and you have been telling people like this that each of your problem is with me.
Absolutely.
Does anyone want to come up and challenge that? Does anyone want to engage with that? You both made a compelling case, but you're both utterly wrong. Idiots.
Yeah. But we haven't made that argument. She's made the argument.
You've both sent me to jail. You've both made me endure multiple arrests. You
So
both.
this is like crazy already, okay? Because for anybody who isn't familiar with the situation, Ben sent himself to jail by doing this. I'll show you exactly the moment where somebody called the police. He gets sent to jail. He gets a no contact order. I'm so happy I made this video every day. I reference this video literally every single time I stream at this point, just to like prove Ben wrong. So here it is. Okay, this is why he got sent to jail initially.
You look like you're gonna cry, and then you hold back because you're so afraid of daddy doing something to you, right?
No, that's literally not why.
Okay, so he got sent to jail for that. And then, like I said, got a no contact order with Grace, violated it not once, but twice across state lines, okay? Across state lines. And now he describes it as Grace sent him to jail, and he's a victim of the state for going on a walk with his daughter. That's what he says, guys. So, that's his narrative, but it's not true. It's like insane that he blames Grace for the reason that he got sent to jail. Like, it's so funny for how many times he calls people victims, and you're a victim, you're a victim, you're a victim. How are you gonna stop being a victim? He is the ultimate victim. Okay, it's like there's zero personal responsibility there.
Done anything. I'm Ukraine.
Listen to this. It becomes comedic. Like, you can't help but laugh at how crazy it is. Okay.
You both made a compelling case, but you're both utterly wrong. Idiots.
Yeah. Yeah. But we haven't made that argument. She's made the
You
argument.
both sent me to jail. You've both made me endure multiple arrests. You've both done anything. I'm Ukraine. One of you is Putin, and the other of you is what do you call that group?
NATO?
NATO. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm getting the shit kicked out of me.
So, I mean, I'm at a loss for words completely. Like, he's comparing himself to the most extreme extreme thing going on in the world. He's like, this is the best metaphor, guys. This is the best metaphor. It was definitely the walk and not the kick. Although he always thinks he can reframe things in a way that's completely disconnected from reality. Spot on, greatest real ally. Spot on. Grace could have been doing life improvement with Ruby. Now she's stuck with Ben. Stuck with Ben and literally homeless. Welcome, Ruby. I'm Palestine. Yeah, if Ben is gonna be Ukraine, then Grace is Palestine. Grace is the Gaza Strip, okay? You're not like, so if you're a victim, so is she. But he's not a victim.
Because you won't negotiate with each other. Which the irony is, you both, there's a way for you to solve this. Like, you both.
So the reason why he's doing that, by the way, like, I mean, he, on the one hand, he does think that he's a victim, but it's also a manipulation tactic to be like, you, Grace, not doing what I want, which is just going against Courtney harder. You not doing that is hurting me. I'm caught in the crossfire. So you're a bad person for not doing my bidding. That's his end goal with this.
Actually can help each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I think what happened was that when I got
Courtney is his ex-wife, for anyone that I see some new people in chat. So,
a bit older, like,
and Grace's mom, obviously.
my mom parentified me. We've all agreed that that's true. It wasn't that big of a deal, but she sort of.
Well, you could say your parents parentified you, because I didn't see it as a big deal either.
Yeah. Sure.
And you didn't see it as a big deal.
No, not really. Except for John, it was fucking driving me crazy. But the rest of them,
Right.
Well, I was.
It
okay.
wasn't great, but it was like not also a big deal.
Yeah. And I think when I got to be around 15 or 16, I was
I mean,
really
yeah, Gary, and things are falling apart for her. So
sick of being on my own. After that had happened with the parentification, I kind of like kicked myself out of the family, whatever. Somebody has audio going on. Who is that? Oh, these 263845. Because you talk to my mom, don't you?
Callum, you're a big Courtney head, aren't you?
He unmuted it. Nothing came through, Callum, when you tried to say something. Is it just
okay? In a second here, we're literally going to see Ben just telling Grace how she feels. Like she is going to be like, I don't remember exactly where it is, but it's in the next few minutes. Just watch for it, okay? Because she's gonna say, this is what happened. She'll start talking about her feelings or her perspective for like a couple seconds, and then she'll get cut off, and Ben is going to say, actually, well, the reason why you were like that, why you felt this way, is because you wanted to be like an adult. And so he's literally like implanting the narrative. Instead of letting her talk and say her perspective, he's going to implant the narrative. Literally, and it's like, this is why, guys. You'll see in a second. This is why people say, Grace, I'm not going to talk to you. Why her family says I'm not going to talk to you, because you are not somebody with you give up your what is the fucking word for it? Your independence, your own opinions, in order to appease Ben. Like you have all these sessions with him, and so everything that you say has been like implanted into you by Ben. Okay, hold on. Welcome, Melanie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right. Trying to get caffeinated up here, get some more energy on the stream, but how are you?
I'm excited to hear Ben try to gaslight someone again.
This is it's insane what we're about to see. Like it's building up to the next few minutes, guys. Just pay attention for this, okay?
no?
What's up?
I was just saying, you began this conversation because you talked to my mom, right?
Not really. Not in a while. Why?
Well, you're in her group.
I'm not anymore. I was several months ago, like over half a year ago. Yeah.
Well, you understand her psychology, right?
I don't think I understand anyone else's psychology but my own, to be honest.
Okay. I'm just saying you can make her case for her since she's not here to talk. She won't talk to me, which is okay. But like, essentially, what we were talking about, because you weren't here earlier, is that I think both me and my mom have been saying we have issues with my dad when really we have issues with each other. I think she got angry. Well, I don't know exactly what happened.
And that's absolutely Ben's idea, by the way, guys. He already implanted that before they start doing this, but it's his idea that's like, hey, who else's fucking idea would that be? Because it doesn't make any sense at all. Anybody who knows who Ben is sees that he's the problem. It's completely nonsensical. The only person that could have come up with that it is him. It only benefits him. Like that idea is not gonna help Grace. It's not grounded in reality. Like Grace, it's obvious that that's his idea. King TL, Ava, your homie's little hit piece was funny, nicely done. Thanks, King TL. Let's keep playing that.
Be honest, but I know that I was parentified by both of them, which I didn't see as that big of a deal. But inherently, when I was parentified by my parents, they were sort of admitting that I was a more competent mother than her. I don't see how that's not part of the equation.
Sure.
So then, like
It wasn't really like more than, I think it was just like you were like co-mothering.
yeah.
I was gonna pause that. I'm trying not to pause as much, but I was gonna say, dude, like, you think you were a better mother than Courtney? Like, even Ben disagrees with you on that.
Sure.
And she was working very hard.
She was
to like pay the bills.
Yeah.
But you were actually parenting.
Yeah.
And both of you sort of preferred that.
Yeah. I didn't really have a problem
Ruby's
with it,
backstage.
except that you left me alone with
He says both of you sort of preferred that. Welcome, Ruby.
Hey, I haven't watched this, but whew, okay, I'm buckling down. Let's.
My only question is, like, I'm guessing this is before their van broke down, right?
Yeah, this is the day before.
Oh, 10-3.
Literally, yes.
And
This
thank
is
you, Stream
yesterday.
Dabs. I can't even enjoy these wins because I actually like. I feel like me and Ava, we are so on the up and up, and like Ben and Grace are so on the down and down. I feel just like bad for them. I don't. It's like I genuinely feel bad for them, but it is a situation of their own making, constantly burning people. No shit, you're gonna find yourself in a fucking shit situation. Like, what was the game plan? Ben thinks he's magical because he's been riding on Grace's hotness for like the last year and a half. They're finding out that goodwill runs out. The people are over it.
Wait, hold on. I want to say real quickly. Someone just reminded me to say this. Jacinda. If Jacinda is watching, she's usually watching. She says. He says to let her know that the RV's dead and the Thorps will probably be back in town, Jacinda. And said tell her to call Ron if they're sleeping in the studio. So if you notice them sleeping in the studio, yeah, you should call because they're not allowed to do that.
Ruby, like, your hair looks so good from that angle, by the way. Sorry, I just had to comment on that.
Thank you. No, I bleached it and then I did like the ash over it. And this is like the final look I'm rocking with. I think it looks pretty good. I like what I did. I was doing like an opposite, like bleach here, dark here, bleach here, dark here. Do you see what I'm like that?
Yeah.
I see what I did?
Shout out to Showtime. Thank you for the Cash App. Let me see if there's a message there, real quick.
Hi, Showtime. And hi, King. What's up? Thank you,
For
King.
great
King
sports
also sent me an
coverage.
offline tip. Dude, people have been making it rain today, so show Ava that same love you showed me, guys, because we are pumping out the content for you guys. For real.
Okay.
And I've got things in the works.
abusive and
Yep,
crazy.
yep.
Yeah.
I couldn't
tuned,
discipline
bitches.
him on my own.
Yeah.
But the rest of them were okay, and I didn't really have that much of a
Which is
problem with it.
understandable because he didn't want a mommy who was 1 year older than him.
Right. But I didn't really want to be that for him either, but he sort of refused to
Okay,
be
all
a
right, maybe
friend.
don't get lost in the weeds.
So I think then what happened when I got a bit older, and
So
I
you were
think
kind of brought into the adult world at a young
So
age.
she literally, do you see this already? Okay, guys, that was the first instance where she says, I think I was brought into the adult world. Like, she says, I think, is about to say her perspective, gets cut off, and Ben is going to tell her what she actually thinks. All right, ready?
that for him either,
Also,
but
thank
he
you,
sort of
King.
refused.
Mommy who was 1 year older than him.
Right. But I didn't really want to be that for him either, but he sort of refused to
Okay,
be
all
a
right, maybe
friend.
don't get lost in the weeds.
So I think then what happened when I got a bit older, and
So
I
you were
think,
kind of brought into the adult world at a young age.
yeah,
Then I think both your mother and I, after that was over, gave you some space.
Yeah.
And your mother did recognize, like, that was really heavy.
Yep.
Let her do her thing.
Yep. And I took that space and I went to school and tried to do my own thing, and then I just felt very lonely, and I just felt like, well, what the fuck? I invested in this.
Well,
Also, her
Shouldn't
saying
be
she,
gays
I
are-
believe that she felt lonely, but she also just in that Burning John video was talking how she was like super popular in high school and all this shit.
Yeah.
So it's very confusing to know what narrative of theirs to believe because their words are just tools to advance them from 1 minute to the next without any regard for any future minutes, past minutes, other people, anything. Like, it's just crazy, nonstop crazy town.
That's a good point.
Strip, I think you might want to get him in.
Who?
Tenderman, he's in the gays ass strip. You might want to get him in. To Grace, because they're talking about Courtney that they might want to get you in because I saw you waiting in the gays ass strip.
Yes, thank you, Callum.
Good
I would
idea.
not have seen that. So, all right, whatever. You're talking about. Okay, so
Like, if they want to do politics, why don't they just do politics?
Because they know that this is what gets them the money. Like, they know that this is why people watch deep down.
Ben seems to be at least be able to talk about what's going on, and I'm sure Grace could like learn about it rather quickly. It's annoying to me that they waste all these opportunities for this to be the outcome.
Yeah. I actually take back what I just said because they just did this in a Discord VC. But I think that they just, I don't know why, man. Because they know that it's just what the people They don't have any friends. They don't have any
Yeah.
friends, and they like, and I think that
Yep.
it gives Ben like
The only person they have is
ego
Cat,
thing.
and also they would dead ass just thinks that's the best way to handle things. Would be he would like pressure and like rush us all to go into like a video call together anytime there's anything to work out. He dead ass thinks that's the best way to go about it, to include Chat, like that's because that's the only other person, and he also feeds off the attention and what he can get away with publicly.
Yeah.
I was sort of recognized as whatever, being more adult than the other kids. Oh, John is lashing out. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So then...
So it's like Ben just implanted this like adult arc of being like, oh, you wanted to be treated like a grown-up. Like that's all his talking, and then she's forced to like agree with him and be like, yeah, if she doesn't want to get derailed into a whole nother conflict.
Yeah, I think the conflict between me and my mom started when I
don't really understand why you have.
There again, she says. So I think that the conflict between me and my mom started when. And then he interrupts.
And the other kids. Oh, John is lashing out.
Says, I'll tell you when it started, Grace.
Okay, blah blah blah. So then, yeah, I think the conflict between me and my mom started when I
don't really understand why it has to be so like speechy. Why can't you just say like? So then, when I became an adult.
Yeah.
I wanted sort of like to be treated as an adult.
Yeah.
And I think that's the essence of the problem. No one knew how to do that.
Yeah, including me. I didn't know how to do that.
Right.
But I wanted to sort of get reintegrated. I wanted to get reintegrated into the family as an adult,
right.
Not as one of the kids. Because
right.
I had always been one of the adults. But
you were treated like an adult and like a kid, and
yeah.
Now you're saying like I want to be treated like an adult.
Yeah.
So what's up?
No, that's what you're saying then. That is literally what you're saying. You had no idea the direction. And maybe she does feel that way, but she knows that that's not the main source of the problem. She knows it's not. The main source of the problem between her and her mom is Ben. It's her relationship with Ben. Okay, it's like
there's like kind of like a 6'8" elephant in the room. That's like the very common denominator to all horrible things happening everywhere is Ben.
and if she wants to come up and be like, I would absolutely love like, in the, like usually like, and I know that she wants this, right? Like if she wants to come up and like sit and talk to me by herself without Ben and be like, no, this is my personal issue with my mom. It doesn't have to do with Ben. I would love to hear that because I do know that Courtney isn't perfect, but like largely the main issue in Grace's life wouldn't change. Like it's just so weird that he's saying, oh, this is the main, that's what he's trying to paint it as. I'm pretty sure it's so hard to even follow him, but he's like, yeah, this is like the main thing why like you guys aren't mad at me. I'm not the problem. It's the fact that you haven't resolved this thing with your mom. That's what he's saying, that all of your problems are because of that and not me.
And that became a conflict between you and your mother because in some ways as an adult, you and me had a better relationship
than you and her.
Than I did with her.
Yeah.
And that's definitely true.
Yeah.
In other ways, not, obviously.
Right. She's a harder worker than I am, whatever, et cetera,
She's the mother of my kids.
Yeah.
And so I don't understand why that couldn't have, that seems to me, I've always said this is an issue between you and your mother.
Right.
But I have been relentlessly attacked for these years.
Okay, hold on, Mike.
Than you and her.
Than I did with her.
Yeah.
And that's definitely true.
Yeah.
In other ways, not, obviously.
Right. She's a harder worker than I am, whatever, et cetera,
She's the mother of my kids.
Yeah.
And so I don't understand why that couldn't have, that seems to me, I've always said this is an issue between you and your mother.
Right.
But I have been relentlessly attacked for this in a proxy fight that I don't really see how it's fair.
Yeah.
I just
Crank out the violin for Ben.
Unbelievable. I don't know why Grace. It drives me nuts because it's like you know that Grace like has those moments of clarity as he's through it, and she falls for this over and over when it's so obviously crazy. Just it's so strange.
I think when he victimizes himself, he like provokes maternal instincts in Grace. Like, oh, I have to take care of him now. I have to protect him. And like, it's like to anybody else who's not like, doesn't have like that relationship with him. It's like, dude, seriously, like take some ibuprofen, walk to welfare and just start like, or even like, I don't know what America has for like help getting jobs, but walk to anywhere that gets you a
There's
job.
like temp agencies, like, and he says he can't because like his name is ruined, but it's like, well, first off, you can change your name. There's ways
Apply
out.
to
Like,
Amazon. Nobody who works at
implanted into
Amazon
Ben or
gives a
Grace's
fuck.
body. There's steps I would take to get out of this mess. There are steps both of them could take to get by, like, but maybe not a great life ahead for either, but like, there's ways out, man.
Since Ben already has the back pain, he might be perfect for working on an Amazon fulfillment center.
He could start like trading stocks and stuff too. Like he could do a self-employed thing. Like if he thinks he's so smart, then get into that. If you're above these like 9-to-5 jobs, you can still work from home and do something.
But I have been relentlessly attacked for 6 years.
He's been relentlessly attacked, is what he says.
But I don't really
in a proxy war where he's being abused.
That was fair.
Yeah.
And I just don't see.
Okay, I'll take responsibility for that. I go pretty hard on Ben whenever I get the chance, so it's my fault.
Because the solution to what problem are we even? There's so many problems. Solution, like she never came up with the solution. You never came up with a solution. She did come up with the solution. Her solution was to cut you out because there is no solution. You'll never be satisfied with any solution.
Do you think he just gets jealous when he talks about Courtney because it seemed like he like made it about him really quickly? I'm not trying to help him out.
Like no. I think that he's using Courtney as a way to get the heat off of him, right? Like that's what he's doing. So it's like it's inherently like connected to him, because and he also thinks that he's a victim in everything. He's involved in everything because he's a fucking narcissist. So it makes sense.
Right.
Okay. No, I see what you're saying.
You never came up with a solution to me. She never came up with a solution to me, and you two never talked about
the solution
to that problem.
The final solution.
You just refused to communicate.
Yeah, and I think it's because I definitely was angry. I don't know exactly why I was so angry.
How does she like? How does her brain like process that? He's like, you didn't come up with a solution to me. And then she just responds to him like he didn't even just say the weirdest shit ever. Like, bitch, how am I, your daughter, supposed to come up to a solution to you? Whatever the fuck that means.
It's not her responsibility to come up with a solution for him. Like it's her. This is the thing, is that they're so enmeshed with each other. Like Ruby says, that it's like it's this weird codependency thing of like they think that they have to fix each other, or he's implanted like that false belief in her that's like, oh, it's somehow your responsibility to fix my thinking and vice versa. Because what I was thinking the whole time that I was watching this as well is that Grace, it's not normal to have somebody trying to shift your perspective when you're talking about your feelings. It's normal for them to validate your feelings and listen to your feelings. Hold on. I don't think. Wait, hold on. Okay.
But I was
angry because you were brought into the adult world at a young age, do adult stuff, but you were never treated with the respect. You never got the adult goodies.
Well,
consolations of being an adult. You were treated like an adult when it was convenient, and then treated like a kid once that was we didn't need an adult anymore.
Right. And I think the conflict started once it became apparent to everybody in the family that I had a better
And the bigger
relationship
issue
with
there
you.
was that your mother and I had fundamental problems that just weren't addressed, and you were used
Again, cutting her off.
anymore.
Right. And I think the
It just shows that he
conflict
doesn't
started
care
once
what
it
he
became
feels or what Grace feels.
Yeah, that's true.
apparent to everybody in the family that I had a better
And the bigger
relationship
issue
with
there
you.
was that your mother and I had fundamental problems that just weren't addressed, and you were used to smooth it out.
Right.
So I think it's perfectly fine that you were angry, and then you were like given space by just being completely neglected.
Right. But I also was angry, and I took that space, and I didn't want to be like a part of the family. I was very angry, but I think the conflict started because it became apparent to everybody that me and you got along better than you and Mom, right?
In some ways.
In some ways.
Yeah.
And then I think
I would say that you're a better creator. You're more mature. You were more mature as a creator when you went on YouTube than she was.
Yeah, I agree.
Although she was.
Hold on.
In some ways.
In some ways.
Yeah.
So,
and then I think
I would say.
I don't know what
You're a
her
better
mother
creator,
did
you're
on
more mature.
YouTube, but you can't do much worse than their kind of like timeline on YouTube.
yeah.
Also, even
I'll
that up,
show
it's like
you.
when me and Grace were trying to have a serious conversation, and he came on and was like, "This is boring. Why do you guys exist? Like, kill yourself. Everyone who's watching this, kill it." Like, why is he even thinking in those terms when like having these serious conversations about family dynamics, about who's popping off on YouTube better, mom or daughter? That's so weird.
Well, that just that legitimately read to me as she's helping Grace. I've got to like disrupt Grace's emotional state so that way she can't actually like change her mind on anything.
Jerome's mind blowing. This is Courtney's old content, which I say it did pretty good for being a very small
1.5K
channel. Yeah.
She put up more videos than I ever have.
Yeah, there's like some really funny shit. There's some really funny shit on here.
And to anyone who saw my last video and doesn't understand what it means, I really apologize. It's only for the people who get who it's about and why.
This one's called Nighttime Slink Around. Nighttime Slink.
Just walking and getting the street light.
I don't know. There's some videos of her like doing some cathartic emotional release, and it's pretty funny. Like it's what the people want. It's what she knows what the people want.
You were more mature as a creator when you went on YouTube.
And by that I mean like destroying a couch or something.
She was.
Yeah, I agree.
Although she was a really good creator, but in a way that was not sustainable.
Of course, he has to add in that she was a really good creator because he always wants to leave that door open of bringing her back.
She was entertaining, but
yeah,
that's what he does with everybody that he makes enemies with. By the way, because like they said at the beginning, they have to have people to collab with. Like they're really attached to that idea.
He was more of a lolcow.
Yeah.
You were less of a lolcow, but you're a lolcow. You've been a lolcow, really, honestly, for as long as you've been on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Emotional abuse.
I mean, look at yourself. Your hair is lolcow hair. Your face is lolcow face.
Yeah.
It's fine.
This RV is a lolcow RV.
No, yeah, you're right.
I mean, look at yourself. Your face is a lolcow face. Your hair's a lolcow hair. Like
He
that's
gets his pants
cool,
and kisses
man.
in a bottle on YouTube while pimping his daughter. Like, who is the fucking cartoon character here? Also, he was the one who encouraged her for so long to bleach her hair and to do something drastic, to have like that e-girl look. He's the one who pressured her into this, and now is shaming her for like not doing it right. Which, you know, if she was with me, we could have done it correctly. But alas, it's just one more fun little plan down the drain, a healthy activity that could have been. I had to do it solo, and
well,
it's like
later
a
he
difference here, so-
blames Courtney later for the reason why her hair turned out bad. He's like, if you had your mom in your life, then she would have been able to do something about it. Which is like, you're 21, dude. Like you should have just
She
looked
just
it up.
needs to do an
ass-
ash dye
Right.
on it. That's it. Like, it's not even that
Yeah.
complicated.
He's acting as if like she was absent for your first period, and everything fell apart because of that. But Save Humanity, they broke down in Massachusetts, I'm pretty sure, near like Boston. And she says, "You're right. Yes, this is the fucking proof that she's not gonna defend herself." Because there's been other, because she has to agree with everything that he says. 'Cause there's been other instances where she's like, I'm not a lolcow, you're a lolcow. Like she calls Ruby a lolcow, and like, you know, she's a real legit content creator. Like, but then if Ben says it, she has to agree.
They're both horror cows, objectively. That's how the internet would classify the situation. Like, it's really, that's why people tune in for the horror cow content. Like, it's not lolcow because people aren't really laughing that much anymore. You know?
Yeah. Yes. That's such a good point. Yeah. And Green says he doesn't understand what lolcow even means. I've never heard anyone else blabber on about who is or isn't a lolcow except for him. He doesn't get it.
It's like, What is a Woman by Matt Wallace. They're still really confused.
What is a lolcow?
God, I hated that fucking documentary.
I wonder what's going through his mind. Like, what is the utility of telling Grace these things? Like, you know, it's gonna like make her feel more self-critical. She's gonna be like worried about showing her face on camera and stuff like that. Now that you said that, what if like
that's how he controls her, is by beating her down like this, like literally, quite literally.
He gets off on the power of it too. Of like, knowing
and the fact that he can flaunt it and no one's doing anything about it, like, and the law tried to do it and he came out, like, that makes him feel like the boss right now. So he's just flaunting it.
Like, the dude clearly has issues shaving.
Yeah, I mean, I think another thing with the reason why he does that is because he genuinely, like, he doesn't, and I feel like bad saying this, like, I don't even want to say it out loud, but I don't think that he actually loves her in like a real way. Like, I don't think he really cares about her. Like, I do think that like there's a part of him that despises her. And it's a common thing with narcissists, like in relationships and stuff. Like, it's like, you know, they idolize you and then they tear you down because you can never like be. Yeah, I don't remember the exact theory on why that is, but it's that is a phenomenon that happens where you end up like not being good enough for them or something, or I don't know, like they end up despising their partner in a way, and that's why their relationships will end up failing. Like,
and you're incompetent.
Yeah.
So face is lolcow face.
Compared to Buddy, who relies on Grace.
Yeah,
Grace is the incompetent one.
He relies on her for everything. It's crazy.
You were less of a lolcow, but you're a lolcow. You've been a lolcow, really, honestly, for as long as you've been on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
I mean, look at yourself. Your hair is lolcow hair. Your face is lolcow face.
Yeah.
It's fine.
This RV is a lolcow RV.
Crack said earlier that was when I was saying something else. He's like, lolcow face, lolcow body, lolcow everything.
And you're incompetent.
Yeah.
So
I think that's because of the conflict, which it does make us a
you're
lolcow
super
family.
excited to get 200 viewers. I think everybody would.
And also the reason why he's doing this is because he's trying to tear her down and be like, you're incompetent. This is the reason why you are. The reason why you're a lolcow is all because of Courtney. Therefore, if you do my bidding against Courtney, if you take her to the legal system, if you help prove my points to this public audience, then your problems will be solved. It's a manipulation tactic.
And meanwhile, he's sorry. Can I just quickly
Yeah.
He's like, why didn't you solve my problems for me? And while saying that she's like incompetent, Ben, or I'll say this to Grace actually. Grace, you're supposed to be in school right now, not thinking about your daddy's problems.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
That's a very low number.
Yeah. Yep.
For how much time, energy, money, and effort we've put in.
Yep.
And
I agree.
You blame it on me. And I think your problem is, I think, with your mother.
This is literally the definition of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, Ben tears her down first with his words, and then he actually tears down like her hopes, her desires, and her opportunities by being the 1 HP victim all the time.
Mm. And he says your channel's a failure because of your mother somehow.
Well,
I don't think you really want to be a creator because you don't do anything like interesting for a new audience. You just do these same like 6-hour RV driving streams, nothing new, no short form content, you know.
I agree. And what it is that she's saying, I think you've been saying is like, oh, that I will be able to do all that stuff.
Yes.
You do have the potential to do all that stuff. You're a terrific editor. There's all sorts of opportunities that you have that you would pass by.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
You could basically have taken over lolcow live by now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What? Sorry, I'm chewing. In every single stream, I end up saying this too, okay? Because all these opportunities that she had, and Gnome was saying this. Oh, I don't know where Ruby went. What the heck? But
she DC'd a while ago. I hope she comes back.
Oopsies. Okay, but anyways, so every single stream we have to mention Gnome. She said last night that every opportunity that Grace has had has been ruined because of Ben. Like, she could have been on Destiny. That was ruined because he doesn't want to affiliate with all the dark stuff that Ben brings to the table. She could have gone on lolcow Live and taken it over in a better way if it wasn't for Ben, right? Like, I can't remember exactly who else, but Destiny was definitely the biggest one where she actually had a big shot. Like, people found her very, very intriguing when she came on and did the whole Steven Crowder defense thing. And then as soon as Destiny learned about their family dynamics and the fact that her and Ben are attached to the hip, he was like, yeah, no. Like, he's literally said to me.
Wait, really?
Yes,
I've never seen that.
Dude, he said to me himself, like, literally directly to me, that he stays, what exactly, hold on, I'll literally get the exact.
We should still rephrase it so we're technically not leaking DMs.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. It's just that he's staying. He stays very far away from them.
Yeah, and
he says that publicly as well. Like, I mean, because he doesn't do anything with them when they actually are. It was very good content for him. It did get a lot of views. Like a lot of fucking views. For being like nobodies.
I call what Ben's doing now retconning, and I think he might have actually picked this up in debates where he like just tells people what they think, and like it happens a lot to me in debates. Funnily enough, where like I'll say something, and then somebody else will be like, "What they're actually saying is blah blah blah," and it's obviously just what that person thinks.
Dark Uncle.
If you need a mod, I'll mod you.
Yeah, Dark Uncle's fine. He's just a stupid troll. Guys, Dark Uncle actually made a... I keep getting tagged with stuff that he makes about me. He...
Trust the milk. Okay, I can see the humor in that.
What is his fucking username again? 77.
He's not cool enough for that third 7.
Look at this edit that he did of me. Ava the G 30-minute study music. It just goes on for 30 minutes. That's Dark Uncle for you guys. Love you.
And instead you complain all the time.
Yeah.
that it's hard for you to pick opportunities that you have that you would pass by.
Sure.
You could basically have taken over lolcow live by now,
Mhm.
and instead
Did you say take over lolcow
it's
life?
hard for you to figure out your
Yeah,
relationship with me.
I doubt that. You are one of the lolcows. You're a subject of the podcast. Yeah, I know. LOL. Yeah.
And I think your problem is with your mother.
Yeah.
The reason you don't cook food is because I think you're saying he should.
There though, Ben, wouldn't you say that you're both incompetent, not just Grace? Because let's be for real, Grace is not the only one that's incompetent in this equation.
Yeah, I think I made a lolcow in the same way the Ukraine has made a destroyed country, because what am I supposed to do? Yeah, I think I made a lolcow in the same way the Ukraine has made a destroyed country, because
That is just so insane to come out of your mouth.
But Grace, you deserve to be a lolcow. The guy whose pee bottles you need to take away from me. I'm not a lolcow ever.
FYB, big boost.
By the way,
salute.
I don't know if it's just Ben pushing her to do it or whatever, but like the biggest lolcow is the sort of person who has no filter, like who just puts things out on the internet that shouldn't be out there. And that's all they do. That is all I've ever seen them do.
Mm-hmm. Those are the aspects of, and just like in getting very triggered by people. That's another aspect of it. Like when and I mean, Ben can say that like he does it on purpose or whatever, but like the Spur gang.
No, Ben, I do it on purpose. I keep a certain intrigue around me where people hate me, but for interesting reasons. People hate you for the correct reasons because you're someone that people ought to hate.
I love
and
that.
Grace like may have made enemies. I can see that. So I'm not going to tell anyone to like her, but she's really not that bad. She's really not that bad.
Grace?
She said bad things, but it's usually because Ben's there saying the bad thing too. I've never seen her spontaneously be like awful, but that's just my impression. Maybe Ruby was helping her kind of like fall out of that behavioral pattern.
I don't know. I would have to disagree with you there, but you know, there's a possibility for reform. King TL,
You're more than welcome to. Like it's like I've my span of exposure to Grace is briefly when she was ripping on food shots for the right reasons, and ever since Ruby started like hanging out with her, I was like, what the heck's going on? This is so like beyond the pale of anything else I've seen on here before. So
what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do with a co-creator who can't figure out if she wants to create or not? And I'm talking about Grace and her mother.
So is this just about being a creator, or I thought this was more about life in general, not just being a creator.
Grace acts like a victim all the time and complains all the time.
But you also do
life, including success.
Damn, got him.
Successes.
Mm-hmm.
So
he literally within the same breath. I am Ukraine in this situation. I am Ukraine in this proxy war. Grace acts like a victim all the time, though. Grace is a victim. She's the one that acts like literally in the same breath, guys. Let's listen to that again.
Who can't figure out if she wants to create or not. And I'm talking about Grace and her mother.
So is this just about being a creator?
Is that Jacinda?
No. Where?
Who is that talking to them?
Oh, no, that's just a random person in the VC.
Well, whoever that was, they were on point.
Yeah, they usually are.
That was kind of masterful with the whole like.
There though, Ben, wouldn't you say that you're both incompetent, not just Grace? Because let's be for real, Grace is not the only one that's incompetent in this equation.
I think I made a lolcow in the same way the Ukraine has made a destroyed country, because
it's so good.
What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do with a co-creator who can't figure out if she wants to create or not?
Go off on your own, victim, victim, buddy boy, victim. Go off on your own.
Yeah, like they made ibuprofen for people so that way people with sore backs don't have to act like they're 1 HP all the time. And Ben just, that would hurt him more as a narcissist to take it and not be reliant on Grace.
Grace and her mother.
So is this just about being a creator, or I thought this was more about life in general, not just being a creator.
Grace acts like a victim all the time and complains all the time.
But you
about every
also do
aspect,
victim.
All the time.
including successes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But you also do the same thing, and she's your child, so perhaps maybe she gets some of those behaviors from you and Courtney.
Fucking got him.
It's
I'm
like,
jealous.
people say like the 5 people that you hang around the most are who you become, like, and they only hang around each other. So basically anything that you're gonna throw at her, Ben, can also be thrown at you.
I appreciate a critical voice, but can we just talk in turn? That would be great.
Or even better yet,
So I would say,
can I get you to pause it? Like,
yeah.
Grace still has potential. Grace still has a whole life ahead of her. Grace hasn't spent this much of her life acting like a victim and expecting his partners and children to serve him the whole time. Guess what, Ben? You are spoiled goods. That's the only reason you cling to your daughter and prevent her from having a life, because you're probably jealous that she could have a life.
Yeah. Oh, he definitely is. He's definitely jealous of so many things about her. So that was Polyester Jumper talking. She says, that was me talking. My recorded voice sounds retarded. No, it doesn't.
That was, yeah, those were some amazing clips. I only wish I was fast enough to make those clips.
You say we both do that. That's not true. I don't every day tell Grace that, like, I don't act like a victim. But you can make the case that I do. I don't have a victim mentality.
You could say that he complains about my.
I need to make an edit. I wish that this. Guys, I literally need to make an edit of all the times that he says that he's Ukraine. I don't think I act like a victim.
My behavior is the root source of him saying like there's something.
He's more like
here.
Israel.
I myself have admitted like,
but not even as built up. He's like Israel if Israel were actually Palestine, but still somehow oppressing the bigger nation.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Life sucks. It's fucking crazy. It's like a living hell.
Thank
you could say
no, I agree
about my behavior contributes to the living hell, but isn't my behavior the root cause?
What is the problem with me?
Why would your behavior always be the root cause when your dad is sitting right next to you?
Yeah, it just like in the rule of like statistics, it doesn't work out. Like you can't always be you. That's wrong.
Conflict. I don't think it has anything to do with me. I sat there for 4 years before we were on YouTube, begging you two to have a conversation. You never had it. I don't see why you can't. Dude,
the quality is like
because you'll take it on me.
Yeah, they're not paying attention to their stream quality, which is
you could say that's a victim mentality. I don't see that as a victim mentality.
I'm like, why would you post up here out of everywhere, dude?
I just think that's actually being a victim of a circumstance. You can't.
Okay, so there's the so if he thinks, so he's saying it's not a victim mentality, I'm just actually a victim. Okay, so guys, anytime Ben calls you a victim, if you ever have an encounter with him, I've been writing down multiple times when he contradicts himself all the time because he uses these things to manipulate Grace, and then when it's thrown back at him, he's like he gives the answer. So I'm like, if this answer is valid for you, it's gonna be valid for me. So I'm not victim mentality. I'm actually a victim. Not victim mentality. I'm actually a victim. The thing that he said the other day was, is that so? John asked him if he was a victim or something, and he was like, "Yes, I am persecuted." Yes, I am persecuted like our Lord and Savior. Like Lord and Savior. Just like our Lord and Savior. He said, yes, John, I am persecuted just like our Lord and Savior. So those are two comebacks. I'm taking notes. I'm straight up taking notes.
He's accused me of playing the victim, which is just the funniest thing in the world because I don't have the luxury of actually being like acting like I'm a victim. I've always had an uphill battle. I've always, just with growing up in group homes, mental health stuff, all kinds of crap that I didn't need to deal with as a kid. And I still believe in myself and try and all this stuff. I didn't have a daughter, so that way I didn't have to keep trying to improve myself. That's just weird. Like, this is what bothers me kind of about like when people are like, oh yeah, and there's a lot of people in a server who says, I'm going to have a kid for like utilitarian purposes because that way, they'll take care of me when I need to. But they don't say when. They don't say like when I'm older in life. They just say they have to take care of me. And you say like, you mean when you're older or later in life? It's like, well, no, if I become disabled, then they should be by my side all the time. It's like, no, that's your partner, your wife, not your kids. Like that's optional for them. It's nice when they do that. You're a good kid, and hopefully they're a good parent when they do that. But Ben's not a good parent. Oh. And actually, I should go. I've got another show to be on. So
okay. Well, thanks for coming up. I always appreciate your contributions.
Oh yeah, and I appreciate you covering this because I honestly could never put the mental effort into it. So I don't know how you do it, but I appreciate it. Take care.
On the other panel. See ya. I think Ava's secretly trying to get Edward's attention with the hat. I've had this hat for years, guys. It's because I just got out of the shower and it's like stringy and wet. Okay, it looks like stringy when my hair is wet in this lighting. All right. Here we go. Back to this, everybody.
Stop until the other actors stop it.
Oh my god, the chair. Pay attention to how much Grace is like fidgeting and shit. Like she's like some ADHD, like 10-year-old boy in this.
Here's my problem. I understand that like there is a problem between me and mom, but I don't understand how the conflict started because I think when it became apparent that
you just described how it started.
But like, okay, I lost it, I guess, because I said like
this family.
She's saying I don't understand how it started. There's Grace. There's nothing for you to understand. You don't need to learn about it. It's your intuition. It's your opinion. There's not like if you're having to be like, wait, Dad, what was my feeling again? What did I think about that again, Dad? Then it's not your thoughts. That means it's not your thoughts. Okay? If you need to ask for clarification on your version of events. And this is why people don't want to talk to you because they know they're just talking to Ben. Let's listen again.
I understand that like there is a problem between me and mom, but I don't understand how the conflict started because I think when it became apparent that
you just described how it started.
But like
this is the type of thing where you need to do soul searching. You need to, no, I can't. No, I cannot save Grace. I cannot save Grace. Sometimes I think I can make a point to her, but I can't save her.
Okay, I lost it, I guess.
None of us can.
It's because I said like
this family was set up to have a conflict when you became an adult.
Yeah.
Because once you became an adult, you wanted the things that are proper to.
So that's another slick way of blaming her, of saying this family was set up to have a conflict when you became an adult. So you are at the root of this problem, Grace. It is your fault for all of the turmoil in this family.
An adult, and you had been you could see that like what had been going on was you were being used.
Yeah.
To smooth things over for the adults who had a problem. And you were like, well, now I'm an adult and like we're gonna have to work this out as adults. You can't just keep doing this to me. So you were angry. That's understandable, but you were also like, I think there's something here for me. And your mother has said that I think that she would have preferred if you just went off and had your daddy issues or whatever your issues were, like with people your own age, and left us alone or something like that, right?
Yeah. Okay, but okay, I understand how I'm right in this conflict. Like, how am I not the right one? And she shouldn't have despaired it. She should have said, like, okay, I'm not going to out that she's.
Hold on.
Your own age, and left us alone or something like that, right?
Yeah. Okay, but okay, I understand how I'm right in this conflict. Like,
She said, I don't understand how I'm not right in this conflict.
how am I not the right one? And she shouldn't have despaired it. She should have said, like, okay, I'm not going to out that she's.
Yeah, she's like, how am I not right?
Marriage, whatever this thought of marriage.
What a concept, Grace. What a concept. This is literally the only person that has the power to tell her that she's not right. Well, where she'll actually be like open to it.
On her, I'm just going to like admit that they have a better relationship than I do with him, but I can still.
I don't understand this better thing. I don't think that's true.
What do you think?
It's just different. I don't know.
But you guys had like, well, okay, that's fine. But
Well,
like,
what it
you
was
guys had a
titled
bad
was
relationship?
what it was titled was the marriage, and that's clearly not what it was. But
yeah.
Okay, so and she admitted that. So Grace is like, when you became an adult.
Okay, so now he's
he's
drilling this back in. They're basically just going to be talking about the same thing over and over again for the next few minutes until Callum, I think it's Callum, starts conversing with them, and that's when it gets interesting again. So
how it's put. Well,
and they start talking about he makes some really. I was impressed by Callum.
Abused by her mother. Does that sound okay?
You were saying, did I get arrested because of victim mentality?
And he does a really good job of not letting Ben pivot the topic because in drawing it back to the question that he actually asked.
No, because you got caught doing something, someone contacted the police, then there was an order which you broke and was caught breaking.
Start here. Here we go.
I mean, he's openly okay. You could say he's, or even if you say like he's just playing at doing that, right? Why?
He's playing at alluding to the fact that he allegedly sent people to your hotel because it's like
do that,
right?
Yeah.
Why shouldn't she want you in jail? Like rationally?
Because I didn't do anything wrong.
Well, you tried to put her in jail.
She has despaired and committed crimes. So
well, not really. But if somebody tried to put me in jail, I would put them in fucking jail or the ground.
Even if you committed the crime?
He didn't commit a fucking crime. But yes, even if I committed a crime.
Who didn't commit a crime?
Courtney.
This is a new Joker.
So she didn't lie under oath?
No, she wasn't under any oath.
Okay. Well, I can't get into the details, but I don't know what to tell you. Like,
you already got into the details, idiot.
We can't talk about that stuff.
You think that if you committed a crime and someone...
And she literally didn't lie under oath.
Wait.
No proof of that.
That's not what you tried to put her in jail for. That's not what you tried to put her in jail for. You tried to put her in jail for spousal abandonment, looking crazy, coming to take Joey to basketball, like trash.
I mean, that's not what I didn't try to put her in jail. I said these are crimes you're committing.
Well, she did.
You literally did try to put her in jail. You literally went to the FBI and the police station. You went out of your way to try and do everything you can. You manipulate Grace all the time to be like, you should take revenge against your mother.
Even less than that to put you in jail. So I don't know what your problem is with her not defending you being prosecuted.
Okay, so you don't think that the origin of all of this, me going to jail, is this victim mentality that Grace and her mother exhibit? If they're not...
So, do you guys hear that? He said, you don't think the origin of all of this, of me going to jail, is Grace's victim mentality? That's the origin of why he went to jail, guys. Makes total... Like, what? What does that have to do with the law? The law that you broke, it's like you can't take any personal responsibility. Like, it's you. If that's the case, then get away from her. If she's making you behave in ways, in illegal ways, that get you thrown in jail, then leave.
Not defending you being prosecuted.
Okay, so you don't think that the origin of all of this, me going to jail, is this victim mentality that Grace and her mother exhibit? If they're not victims,
no,
okay,
somebody
fine, then
somebody
I
saw you
to go to jail. But if they were not victims,
somebody saw.
He thinks that that's like such a dunk. He's like, well, if they weren't if you disagree that they're not acting like victims, then I wouldn't have even gone to jail. You make no sense. You make zero sense.
You do an assault on live stream and contacted the police, and then
like
they,
that,
yeah, exactly,
right?
and then
Okay,
and then there was
so
an
are you gonna
order.
call, is that worthy of me going to
No,
jail?
but that wasn't the point. That wasn't the point.
Hold on a minute. When Grace was younger, she fell asleep taking care of her sister. When she shouldn't have been taking care of her sister. She dropped her sister on the floor, and she was physically abused by her mother. Does that sound okay?
You were saying, did I get arrested because of victim mentality? And I said no, because you got caught.
Good job, Callum. Good fucking job. Don't let him derail you.
Doing something. Someone contacted the police. Then there was an order which you broke. And
Look at Grace just like tearing apart these leaves, fidgeting right now because she's so overwhelmed with this.
Caught breaking. Like, it's very simple. Why?
But wait a minute. What was I
back-breaking mental gymnastics
caught doing?
You were caught violating the restraining order that the state took out against you.
Right. Okay. And did the state have a right to take that out on me?
He's like, what was I caught doing? Violating a restraining order. Well, was the state allowed? Was the basis of that allowed? It's like he asks these stupid fucking questions. You know the answer to it, right? Like you're making yourself look bad.
Great. It doesn't matter. The question was before you answer. As a parent, should I have? Grace was had just been terrorized by people when she was alone, and I was incarcerated, and she was out of her mind with fear. Should I have said, "I'm not going to contact you. I'm not going to allow you to contact me"?
My honest opinion is you should have gone no contact with her like 6 years ago.
Thanks. It's very helpful.
Okay.
He asked me.
Fine. That's a perfect thing. What does that mean? So she's 16 years old, and I say, I am no longer going to contact you. What does that mean?
Well, she probably wouldn't be living in a fucking RV.
But I don't know what that means. You can't go no contact.
Dude, he just breezes right past that massive fucking dunk, dude.
What does that mean? So she's 16 years old, and I say, I am no longer going to contact you. What does that mean?
Well, she probably wouldn't be living in a fucking RV.
But I don't know what that means. You can't go no contact with your kid when they're 16 years old. I don't understand what you're saying.
My father went no contact with me when I was born.
Okay, do you appreciate him doing that?
Well, of course I don't. But he's like, I don't know.
Point proven.
Okay, so
Point proven. Every situation is different, dude.
He might have been good in the long run.
Tenement, you're saying that, Grace is saying she has a conflict with me. She has trouble with me. Her mother says she has trouble with me, in which she's seeking for me to get incarcerated.
2 versus 1. 2 versus 1. There's the answer. It's not just 2 versus 1. It's everyone. It's me. It's everyone in chat. We all think that the problem is with you, Ben, but somehow he's just smarter than all of us guys.
Over. I'm saying they have an issue with each other. Neither of them have a conflict with me. Well, if you want to tell me what the conflict is with me, I'm happy to. I think it's downstream of their own conflict, which is easily resolvable. And I've always said that.
No, I don't think pursuing any kind of conversation or, you mother hold the key to my misery. It's nonsense. They've tried all of that. They've done feminine Fridays and all the rest of this shit. Didn't work. Everybody was still miserable at the end of it. Okay, and yes, I do. I think the conflict is with you.
Who has a conflict with me?
Well, Courtney definitely has a conflict with you. And
her conflict. Wait, hold on.
You just said earlier that the Grace and Courtney, even by his own twisted logic, he's like, Grace and Courtney sent me to jail. So wouldn't it be they have a conflict with you?
If I understand
that yourself.
Her conflict is that she claims that I groomed Grace and then raped her. And you think that that's actually what she thinks? That's what she claims to the state of Rhode Island.
But I would say that she had a case without that.
Yeah, most people think that, unfortunately, because of all that you've done to feed into it. No, I want to get to the point where they start talking about narcissism.
But so then you'd have to go to like actual criteria of it, and
But you were just talking about how you were just
okay. Here,
I'm talking about the way like I have narcissists in my family.
Okay, here we go.
It doesn't really make any sense as a theory.
You can't really do
to the state of Rhode Island.
But I would say that she had a case without that.
This is the best part, in my opinion.
Is the conflict?
I think, Ben, that you have serious issues with other people.
Okay, but what are they?
I think you have quite honestly, a personality disorder, which means that you can't connect with other people in a healthy, normal way.
Okay, and what is that personality disorder?
Probably narcissism.
Take a wild guess. Thanks, St. Elmo's Fire. Thank you. I love this because this is the conversation that Ben wants to have with me too. But says, yeah, blatantly, you have a personality disorder. Like so many people have said that and thought that.
Narcissistic personality disorder.
Okay, and so you're saying I have narcissistic personality disorder, and I can go through what narcissistic personality disorder is. I don't really tick those boxes.
You can't diagnose. They think that they dunk so hard. They're like, well, like I don't think that my dad had. Grace literally, she texted me like privately and to like argue with me about this, about Ben being a narcissist. I'm like, what are you like? Why are you doing this? He goes through it and he's always like, well, the criteria doesn't make sense. I don't ban people from my chat, so therefore, and I'm like, you can't diagnose yourself. Like you can't like, and I think he would agree that it's a joke. Like people that self-diagnose autistic, right? Like that's a whole meme on the internet of like how there was a point when everybody thought that they had autism and stuff, and it can be the reverse of thinking that you don't have something when you do. Like it's much easier for people on the outside to, when there's a giant collective of people on the outside that think that you have this thing that's much more valid than you personally disagreeing. Oh, let me make this big again. Yeah, some people think that it's like it's definitely undiagnosing myself. I'm fine. That's literally what Ben did. That's literally what he did. He literally said, "Oh, I was bipolar, but since being around Grace, it's fine now." These dumbasses were proud to take it to a Mercedes dealer instead of a mechanic. Wait until they see the price when it. Yeah, that is really stupid. Safe Humanity is talking about the RV that broke down today. Most doctors get diagnoses wrong. They just like to push meds. Well, the thing about being diagnosed with a personality disorder, specifically with narcissism, is there's no medication for it. There's not really a cure for it. It's just managing. Welcome, Sam, by the way. Also, if someone really does start getting through to Grace or speaking too much truth, he mutes them or kicks them from the convo. That's absolutely true. And the craziest example of that was her encounter with Ruby. He meets all the qualifications. Yeah.
It doesn't really make any sense as a theory.
You can't really do a self-assessment.
You're not normal. Okay, I admit I don't have a normal personality. I'm not a normal size person either, but like you're saying I don't have high level social skills. Is that what you're saying?
No,
that's not true.
That's not what that means.
Okay, so you obviously don't know anything about narcissism if that's the first question that you ask. Right? Because that's not what narcissism is at all. In fact, quite often, they are extremely charismatic people.
It means that you have in the social domain, it means you have a glib affect. It means that people with narcissistic personality disorder tend to be very good talkers, very, very good talkers, very persuasive, excellent mind readers, right?
Yeah.
They
tend to diagnose you with homosexuality and me with homosexuality. Very, very astute.
I think
okay.
both of you have sexual problems. Yes.
That's fine.
I'm not
No, it
saying
doesn't.
that you're gay, but I mean, I just use it. But wait a second. Narcissistic personality disorder, I do know about this, is this kind of idea that like there's a surface me that I present because I'm afraid of the real me that is this like wounded child. What is the
That's
wounded child?
Well, no, I mean that's
No.
that's
Well, yes, no. That's absolutely the.
That sounds like generally accurate. Yeah, it is fake charisma. Callum is interviewing. Narcissists tend to have really great social skills. But yeah, like the root of narcissism, people say, I mean, he kind of has that skewed, but the root of narcissism is being really like insecure in yourself, and so then you construct this like extreme delusion about yourself because yeah, you have some kind of wound from childhood, or I've seen people theorize that it also comes from kids that are like too coddled and spoiled growing up, but most of the time it's like a wound from childhood abuse where you come up with this like big cope. Yeah, they're secretly deeply insecure. That's why they get so triggered. It sounds like Tenderman, but it's not Tenderman. You'll see when you keep listening, because they say his name specifically.
Core.
a psychodynamic.
Tenderman, or maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe they switched at one point. It's hard for me to tell. But Tenderman, he sounds more like the like actual British audiobook narrator or like movie narrator. I don't know.
Dynamic theory about the cause of it, but actually there's no established cause. Some neuroscientists look at the prefrontal cortex.
I'm talking about the way it like I have narcissists in my family. There's this idea that you keep this facade up to avoid the insecure person underneath, right? It's not causal. I'm just saying that's how it displays itself. What is the
and that's why they get so triggered when there's like an injury to their ego.
Insecure person underneath. What are you talking about?
That's a theory about how it's well, one only has to look at your diaries to see insecurity there.
Insecurity that like there's isn't that just me saying like I would like to have there to be order?
Yeah, but it's very
you understand. I just don't think you understand. You don't understand narcissism. I just don't think you understand what it is. Let me ask you this: you've been on the internet a lot. Do you think a lot of people use the diagnosis of narcissism just to say that I don't like you because you're more successful than I am? You're right. Isn't that also possible?
Definitely, but I don't think that's the case here.
Okay, right, but no one who says that says I think that's the case here. But so then you'd have to go to like actual criteria of it, and
But you were just talking about how what you're doing is not a success. How can you say that?
Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example.
Yeah, there are Ben diaries. There's a lot of really old lore that some of these people and I don't even know about. But yeah, I think there was a point. One thing that someone told me that I read somewhere is there was a point where Ben was like suicidal and he thought that God like hated him. I can't remember the details of it, but I don't know if that came from a diary or if he talked about that on VCs. But
this is my attitude towards ball washers on the internet. Be honest.
What, your ball washers?
Yeah, like do I like love it having ball washers, or am I sort of uncomfortable? And I am very open to criticism.
That's a sign of insecurity if you're uncomfortable with people that support and compliment you.
I think
Go ahead.
I think you use them to the degree that they are useful, and then I think you're more interested in the next conquest.
Okay, but do you think you understand, right? That the channels that I'm on are the most tolerant of criticism, probably on the entire internet. Would you agree?
Wait, say that again.
If you say people that I've interacted with, like Destiny, Andrew Wilson, whatever, right? They're quick to ban. I never ban.
I mean, when you have a bigger channel, there's more trolls in your chat that you might have to ban, but also Ben bans people. They act like they've banned pretty much every person that disagrees with them heavily or is friends with Courtney. They've banned all of them from their Discord. They've banned me from their Discord VCs. If I said something that Ben doesn't like, he's like, get her out of here. And then I have to like beg to be unbanned personally. There's a ton of people that get banned all the time if they just say one little thing that triggers Ben. So he's just straight up lying here.
And okay, and so people, when they come in to Discord, their complaint is generally like, my God, these people talk shit about you constantly. And I'm incredibly tolerant of that, aren't I?
True.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so
But I
that would be
think-
the opposite of a narcissist.
Okay,
A
okay,
narcissist would
okay,
go on,
Evan.
like Andrew Wilson, on the internet and say, I'm the big tough motherfucker. And anyone who says, like, I got a few questions, he would ban them. But I don't do that. I'm happy to take any, and I in this conversation.
So you're telling, so now you're ascribing Andrew Wilson to be a narcissist. But just a little bit ago, you were saying that it's wrong to call anybody. Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm not ban happy. I'm saying that these bigger creators aren't. And honestly, I think it's good to be fucking have boundaries in your chat and, you know, expect to be recognized as superior even without accomplishments. Preoccupied with fantasies about success. Beauty or the perfect mate. Critical of and look down on people they feel are not important. Take advantage of others to get what they want. Have an inability or unwillingness to recognize the needs and feelings of others. We see that all the time between him and Grace.
I'm inviting criticism. And I'm not getting super upset because you know me very well. You've known me for 2 years now. And so, like, if there was someone who could push my buttons, it would be you. But, like, I'm not, do you sense that I'm, like, super, like, afraid that you're going to, like, say the thing that no one else will say? Like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it depends on the person. Maybe with Callum, you think that you're, like, superior to him, so you're not scared of him. Because you have this idea of him that he's dumb or whatever. You're just in a certain mood. But there are other times when you're spurging and immediately, like, someone will just say one thing and you're like, ban them.
No. That's the opposite of narcissism.
Well, yeah, but it's a holistic disorder, right? It's not just one thing.
Yeah, okay, but like the problem is it's hard to differentiate between someone who has confidence and someone who's narcissistic, right? Like, for example,
no, it's not. It's not at all. What are you even talking about? Like, we just look for the evil stuff that you do. That's literally it. That's how we can tell the difference is from the negatives. If someone's confident, like somebody who's confident doesn't need to act like this with their daughter. Let me find it. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Where the fuck is it? Oh, is this it? Yep, here we go.
Thinking about Ben thinking about the hookers he buried in an oil drum. I've seen him. Ben is Rainey says Ben is looking out for the ops. Ben's mind is far, far away. Ben is too quiet. Ben has the 1,000-yard stare. Ben is ready for battle. Ben in his zone. Ben's about to crash the RV with no survivors. It is Tuesday, January 16, 2022, 4:03 p.m.
2022?
2024. We are. I just said it's.
You're letting everyone know you're crazy.
That's a crazy thing to say. Yeah. We are in.
Bougie. Bougie. Fake me. Hi. Oh, look. Fuck you.
It's not going well. It's not going well. So.
I think you should ask anyone. We're in Central Virginia. Anyone between here and Rhode Island who believes this person is wonderful, fixable, whatever the hell you want to do with her. Take her off my hands. I'll drop her off. Do whatever the fuck you want with her. Kill her for all I care. And get her out of my goddamn life. Anyone want to take me up on that offer?
I totally
She needs to be
understand.
warned.
So that's how we can tell that you're a narcissist, and not just a confident person, Ben. Okay. Damn, look at that frame on her, like that just despair in her face. Yeah, very normal parenting. Yes, indeed.
She needs to be fucking warm. Okay? Warm, cigarettes, victimhood. Anyone up for that? I'm not anymore. Anyone tell me the town, I will drop this piece of shit off 24 hours a day. Look at this fucking loser.
So I understand him saying that, and
So yeah, if you guys can't tell, I honestly should play this at the beginning of these things, because anybody that's new to this, like, that is why she doesn't defend herself at all. Here, don't let them stream on your channel. What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Donald Trump, I do think, has some things he can tick off on narcissism.
I have Ben,
but he's
one second.
also a very confident man.
I have something to say on this.
So I don't think he's a classic narcissist. But he
I
has
have something to differentiate
I
narcissism
don't have those
from with a
tendencies.
personality.
I don't have those tendencies. So it doesn't really make sense.
Oh, you're breaking up.
we're breaking up.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Can you hear me? He uses you to get on panels, or just
okay, right? Okay, so perfect. So look.
He uses them to get things through Courtney, or just whatever, or you. Like, he uses you to get on panels, or just
okay, right? Okay, so perfect. So look up something about like how narcissistic fathers treat their daughters. There's one of two ways that they do it. One, they keep them constantly kind of like they do this hot and cold thing. So the kid is constantly wondering what's going on. And then when they're called,
I swear he watches my streams, dude. I swear he does. Like, this is what I was going over the other day. It is this exact thing. I was reading an article about the narcissistic parent-child dynamic on my like members only stream, going over Darius the first hour, and then that the second.
They dismiss the kid.
Wait, Ben,
He's been looking into it, or he's just been looking into it. He's curious.
One of two ways that they do it. One, they keep them constantly kind of like they do this hot and cold thing. So the kid is constantly wondering what's going on. And then when
so it's like, I think he's genuinely unself-aware, because yeah, it's exactly what he does. It's exactly what he does all the time. We see the cycle happen. We've been seeing the cycle happen for years now. Like, he did it multiple times in this video, in this VC, where he's like, Grace, like you're a lolcow. Everything about you is a lolcow. You're a fucking loser. But you know, you are more talented than your mom, and you did this thing better. And I do think that you have potential.
They're called out, they dismiss the kid.
Wait, Ben, how could you not say that's the case? How could you not say that's what you do every day with Grace?
Because it's not hot and cold. It's consistent that he doesn't like the way I behave.
Oh, you're saying I love bomb her?
He does. He says hot and cold things. So yesterday he said to her, yeah, usually you look like a supermodel, but right now you look disgusting. Like, you look horrible. That's not his exact words, but when he was like, yeah, you used to look good, and then you did all this to yourself with the blonde hair and stuff. Like, that's another example of that's like that's a neg. That's what negging is the hot and the cold. You say something mean, and then you say something nice, and then you do a little dig, and it's a manipulation tactic.
But the key to that is keeping them at a distance. I have no distance with Grace. Like, there's no distance. I have to.
Yeah, but there's emotional distance. You'll sulk and you won't. Okay, Grace. You'll sulk. You won't.
Talking about everything. There'd be a bigger case that I'm a narcissist because I have a facade, and then I'll be someone else differently with him. He's the same person right here as he is with me. It's the same.
Okay, so, girl, what?
Person. In order for there to be a narcissist, you can't live with somebody.
Well, wait a second. So
you
use people to get what you want. What is it that I want? I have no money. My reputation's been destroyed. I have no.
It's just like, what is the point of art? Like, just go to a professional and get a fucking diagnose, just if you're so convinced that you're not a narcissist, then why don't you stream getting tested for it and what your result is, instead of making these like, oh well, the facade, it's like, okay, you're just honing in on like one specific thing that you, and I mean, you're wrong about it, but it's like, oh dude, it's so frustrating to watch this. It's so frustrating to watch it. It's so fucking frustrating. I'm like, I can't even argue this point. Thank you, King TL. No disrespect, but keep grinding.
Career prospects.
Okay, should I try and tear apart this argument? Because if I ever
talking about everything, there'd be a bigger case that I'm a narcissist because I have a facade, and then I'll be someone else differently with him. He's the same.
So she has a facade, whatever. So does Ben. Also acts very differently depending on the person he's around. We saw his facade with Ruby, for example, when they first started hanging out. He's like, oh, this friendly, nice guy. He's giving her all this validation, you know, stroking her ego, flirting with her, whatever. Saying, hey, you've like a talent, and then he switches up and he shows his real self towards the end. Okay, when he starts getting threatened by her, and it starts seeping out slowly over time. We can literally, anybody who watched the whole Ruby arc can see that. So you're wrong, Grace. There, I'm not indulging anymore. They're fucking
person right here as he is with me. He's the same person. In order for there to be a narcissist, you can't live with somebody.
Well, wait a second. So
you
use people to get what you want. What is it that I want? I have no money. My reputation's been destroyed. I have no career prospects.
And it's like, yes, Grace, you live with him now, so you see the real him now. But you see when he puts on the facade, when he meets new people, he puts on this like charismatic, glazing self. He consistently does that.
Grace has total power over me. What is it that I want?
Well, nobody said that you were good at it.
No, you are implying that I'm a sophisticated narcissist.
No, nobody thinks that. We all think you're a loser failure, dude. You the only person that you've roped into this is Grace. You fail with everybody else that you try to manipulate and recruit in your cult way of thinking. You fail with everybody. No one thinks that you're good at it.
So with your daughter, yes, it's very very effective with your daughter, and with
in getting what? A life that's like a living hell.
She said there's something that is so abundantly obviously true is not true to defend you. She lives with you. She lives with you.
You can't.
Go ahead, let him talk.
Okay. She's with you 24 hours a day. She empties out your piss jugs. She's taken to live in an RV with you. She's embarked on this madcap 24-hour streaming career. It's like out of Grace, you've gotten exactly what you wanted.
Which is what?
A full-time, unconditional companionship.
Okay, but what a narcissist does is manipulate someone to do that. She is very
Yes, that's what you did. You think that she would do that on her own volition? No normal person would do that. Everybody, if you, oh my God, if you didn't have to manipulate her to do that, then way more people would be doing that. There's a reason why nobody else is doing that, Ben. Because the typical young person doesn't want to do that. They want to go live their own life. I cannot think of literally anybody, nobody, guys, that is like, yeah, I want to be 21, living with my dad in an RV at 21. Fuck my dreams. Fuck, my life, my future prospects. Fuck having friends. Fuck hanging out with people. Fuck having relationships with, romantic relationships. My number one thing I want to do is hang out with my dad. You're like, Grace, there's a reason why you're the only person that feels that way, and it's because you were manipulated. You were manipulated into that. I hope she hears that. I hope she's listening to that. Because I'm like, what? You think you're just some special, unique? No, this is deeply dysfunctional. It is not good, and it is not normal for you to feel that way and want that. Like, even if you genuinely did feel that way and you would say, I wasn't manipulated into that, that is a concern as well. Like, that is something I'd be like, okay, you have a really unhealthy attachment and you need to go seek therapy and change that. It's not something that you should just accept. That, like, oh, you're just like this special enlightened person that realizes that you think that everybody needs to be closer with their dads. Like, no, you're wrong.
I tell her pretty much every day that she's free to do anything else she'd like to do. Now, you have to say that's a form of manipulation.
Callum's going to say the same thing, but you say that you tell her that all the time, and then anytime she tries to do that, you throw a big hissy fit and say, well, who's going to change my diapers?
But it's actually literally true. So you say, like, well, that's not very sophisticated, but it's not narcissism at all. I'm saying you should just be clear about what you do. You think it's narcissistic for me? Like, look, if you want to stream with me, you should stream. You should want to stream, not drag your feet. And if you don't want to be a streamer, then go do something else in life. That's called being honest with someone. That's not manipulating them. That's the opposite.
She's lost in life. She can't even think about what she wants to do in life because she's always stuck having these stupid ass fucking conversations with you, trying to appease you in your needs in life. You can't change anything if you don't want the change. No one can help her but herself. Yeah. But you know, it's a tough fucking thing because it's like, dude, I wish, I don't know, I still have like a tiny bit of the savior complex, even though I know, like, there's a tiny part of me that's like, maybe I can like say something that would change her mind, you know, like, and I used to have the opportunity to do that. If you watch this video, this is when I was still in my like little savior phase where I was like, oh, I can talk to her and try and level with her.
Is that a Dahmer thing?
Here. Well,
Just
Jeffrey
like agoraphobic.
Jeffrey didn't really want to share.
Oh my god. And Ben was still saying the same old shit about how Grace is Jeffrey Dahmer, but I would try to fucking work with them. Like, I would try and have I had a fucking
wait, Ben. Wait, someone in the chat just asked this. I'm actually curious about it. Why did you ditch your server? I loved your server.
Grace semi-nuked it. I don't know exactly what happened.
Made it all private. Because having
Again,
the two
it's
servers.
that Dahmer thing. It's like everything gets collapsed.
Yeah, okay.
And she goes, "This is crazy because the mother did it." It's sort of like you shut the windows and you're like, "Oh,
wait, how is that?"
There was a point where I was getting to talk to Grace about her feeling. Look at Ben shirtless and fucking ugly,
glitching out like heavily right now. I'm pretty. This is why I find better ignoring it versus like being like, I'm not gonna like focus on this right now or like indulge this. But I think the difference is that it's like when you have these thoughts, like the reason why you're feel like so negative all the time is because you have these like paths, right? It's like you have this one thought and then you have another thought, and then it's like you have the option of like, you know what, no, I did good today, I'm just gonna try better next time, and it's okay to have an off day. Or you can go the direction of what's wrong with me, like why can't I be more fun, like why don't I enjoy streaming more, and just get into that rabbit hole. And then it's like, okay, maybe you indulge that rabbit
this
hole.
was literally a year ago. They're talking about the same exact shit still, her and Ben. But guys, I was fucking trying. Like, I was drawing fucking charts and shit trying to level with her. Who is that? Trippy Cast? I don't even know. I don't even remember. This was so long ago.
Now you're at another crossroads where it's like, okay, you can continue indulging that and spiraling even more, or you can be like, dude, I really think you should like look into like this like growth mindset workbook thing that's going on.
No, I'm not opposed to it. I do think I have a fixed mind.
But yeah, I came on a little bit too fucking strong with this. Get the growth mindset book, huh? But like, I wanted so badly to fucking, you know, I'm like, maybe if I just say the right thing. How did I close the other tab? Oopsies.
Fire TV has so many great recommendations.
Yeah, serves up the best options from all my apps in one place.
Like, look, if you want to stream with me, you should stream. You should want to stream, not drag your feet. And if you don't want to be a streamer, then go do something else in life.
I think Jorg did die. He passed away. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know the details, but it's sad. He was like the cool, actual nice, way less creepy version of Spicoli, kind of, in a way. And I feel bad even saying that because I feel like it's a diss with how much, but it's like, no, it just in the terms of like, I remember like I mixed them up. He kind of like, he has like the same trolley vibe, but then he's actually like a good, not creepy person. And I liked having him up on my streams and stuff. He was a good dude and genuine, yeah.
That's called being honest with someone. That's not manipulating them. That's the opposite of manipulating.
Yeah, but
I feel like vaguely I remember thinking, hearing it was either something about cancer. Or I know that he had like a little problem with alcohol. I don't know if it was had to do with that or it was some kind of health issue.
She's in a position now where if you even suggest the idea that she gets away from her father and lives an adult life on her own, she goes, oh, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. What would I do? What could I possibly do? She is in the frame of mind that there is absolutely no alternative. And she's conditioned to the point where...
No, that's absolutely not true. So a narcissist, that person is relying on. What I've done in terms of training for the last year, I've totally promoted her channel. She could be self-sufficient on her own. I haven't in any way engaged within my own channel, right? She's the owner of that channel and she's self-sufficient and she has financial resources and a huge fan base. How would that's the opposite of what a narcissist would do. It's not manipulative at all. It's the exact opposite of manipulative.
Yeah, I mean, I already went over that. Debunked that.
In ordinary.
Pretty much from here, I can't remember if there's anything else. I feel like I made a mental note of the timestamp 107 while I was at the gym. Did I write anything down, actually? Hold on.
Dozens of times, so it's not one time.
But it was before the restraining order, obviously. If that's what you're talking about.
I think honestly, like it becomes repetitive after this, guys. So am I missing some? This guy Jorg that used to come on panel like a year ago, he did. But basically, guys, I just want to go over one more thing here on this stream today. I'm trying to keep the timer under 2 hours, so but we'll go for a little bit longer because I want to go over Kino Casino. Apparently roasted Lalo.
It takes 5 seconds to skip the video and also 5 seconds to save a life. Let me tell you how.
I don't smoke.
This is hard to watch.
Yeah, they roast Lalo.
Allegedly here, but then confirms the story. So
because
it's
someone
like allegedly. Yeah. It's like not 18-year-old. This sick freak is talking about how he's filming a 14-year-old girl. A 14-year-old. Can we lock this guy up
forever?
Can he be fed to a fucking wood chipper?
Please.
Can we get some people out there with baseball bats to break his fucking kneecaps, break his arms? Like, what's wrong with this?
Dude, I love the way this guy is talking, for real. Cause I was thinking about making my kind of like intro statement to be hit the like, smack the like button like you wish you could smack Ben in the face. But I was like, is that too violent? But you know, they're confidently into it.
World that this is allowed to exist.
It's
thanks, REI.
She was sitting out there on that
new to you guys
paddleboard.
Laylo, look, what the fuck are you doing?
Like, Lolo, what are you doing? Like, you're listening to this guy. Like, first of all, Lolo, just to introduce who this guy is, he's a simp, and he's a pay pig for them. And he wants to Grace really bad.
Yeah.
But she's never going to give Lolo even a fucking crumb of pussy.
Yeah.
She's not going to give Lolo
I don't
shit.
even-
And Lolo...
I don't even know which one Andy is. Which one is Andy? You should be over Andy and have PPP as co-host. Which one is PPP? The pumpkin guy? I like the pumpkin guy.
Has to sit there and get cocked by her dad, which is sick. That he's getting literally cocked by this bitch's father. And he has to sit there while getting cocked by the bitch's father and listen to him talk about how he's perving on 14-year-old girls.
Yeah.
And filming them.
It's insane.
Like, imagine being Lolo, and we're gonna like see the depths of the Lolo art.
The Lolo art.
In our next folder. Oh man!
The only time I know Lolo was from back in the day. He invaded Ralph's Kingpin, remember, and was taking photos and sending it to him.
Yeah, that was the only good thing Lolo's ever done.
And now he's like hanging.
And Lolo's been a worthless simp.
Yeah. This is so beautiful. This is such a beautiful experience. Like full circle. Like I have been waiting so long for the Lolo roast session to commence, you know. And I did my part in it, but to see it, you know, more mainstream is beautiful. Blood Orange, no, I'm not modding you.
For the grossest roasty on the face of the earth.
Mogging. For me. I mean, it was like,
wait, what?
It was like mogging. For me. I mean,
That doesn't even make sense.
Like, it was like a swim. I'm not saying it was porno, but it was like, what are you doing right in front of me?
Oh my.
Like, to even compare a 14-year-old girl on a wakeboard at the beach.
And he's like, she was
to
modeling
a porno.
for me.
Like, this is the sickness of his mind, is he sees a little girl and he thinks,
yeah,
he sees a little girl and he thinks she's modeling for him.
I just want to like put this image in your guys' head, by the way. Like this is a 14-year-old girl. Okay. Yeah, you said some hit puberty earlier than others, but they look like kids. They all look like kids. Okay? I feel creepy even just like showing. But like this is what Ben looks at in a sexual manner and interprets in a sexual manner, okay? Now, this is like an extreme example of like, you know, a 14-year-old girl who's like trying to look older, but most of them look more like this, okay, in real life. So keep that in mind.
Wait, what did he say?
Like,
Mog?
He thinks,
yeah,
he sees a little girl and he thinks she's modeling for him.
Yeah, we said mogging.
Yeah, like they look like little girls.
What did he say?
Like,
mogging?
He's saying mog. I don't think he knows that word doesn't. That word doesn't mean what you think it does.
Yeah, like I don't.
Did you know that our food system is basically designed to be wasteful? We grow so much food in the US that goes to waste. That's one of the big reasons.
Oh my god, guys, fucking relax. I'm trying to show you that that's what, because I feel like so many people, they talk about 14-year-old girls and how, you know, oh, they're teenagers, and they, and like, there are so many people out there trying to normalize it when it's like, no, they look like kids and we need to be, because there are people that talk about how they, you know, people are looking older nowadays or they try to look older. And I'm like, no, the average one looks like a child.
Like, what the f?
Like, oh, dude, come on.
Absolutely.
Oh, no, that is autistic.
That's like if I said,
She had
oh,
the
she
whole
was
fucking
showing the
leg
whole
to
ass.
be on, and she's sitting there, and like, you know, she
They're,
knew
like,
she
10,
was.
20 feet away
She had a nice little.
She's
He had a nice little body. I've gone over this clip already, but he says she had a nice little body. Just remember, they look like he's talking about little children.
20 feet away.
What the fuck?
She's not like if she was right in front of you, twerking in your face. Even still, what the fuck are you talking about?
And then like
He should be like shipped to that PDF park, you know? Did you guys ever see that documentary about it? It's like there's like an isolated neighborhood where it's like only sex offenders. Like that is where Ben belongs. Is in that zip code. If you look it up on YouTube, I think it's literally called PDF Park, but like not PDF, the actual word.
The 14-year-old girl 20 feet away at the beach, Dad.
What the fuck?
Under the jail.
Now, I wonder if he thinks that Grace is showing off for him when she would wear a swimsuit.
The sticker of you dancing. Who's making all these gifts? I love them.
Is
dude.
this from Jaden's
No, I
stream?
think maybe what's his face? Zaneed's stream maybe.
Little body.
She was not a
Talking
child.
about Lolo, run!
Lolo!
Don't walk! Run away, Lolo! Lolo! Like
He stays for the whole rest of the day.
Lolo, buddy! What are you doing?
What the?
Lolo, get the tables! Get the wood chipper! Lolo, get the wood chipper and put him in! Holy shit, dude! The guy.
That's the only acceptable thing to do in this situation, or literally walk out. Like if Lalo gets bit, like this clip is going to come back to haunt him. The fact that he's just like, what?
He's talking about a 14-year-old girl with a tight little body.
Yeah, she's dancing. For me. She wasn't a kid. You know what that reminds me of? Remember Taggart? She was no child.
And remember, guys. Remember. There's also a clip of. There's more. There's more of Ben talking creepy like that. Right here.
Well, what I'm saying is, in traditional cultures where there is a strong sexual, like onus in society, usually, I'll say this because, like, I know everyone's gonna. 15 years old is fine to get married to an older man and to have sex with him and produce kids from him. I don't think that's controversial. That's generally seen as like early, but like totally fine. So.
What makes it totally
where? Generally inside the three people in your head that are talking right now, or like where? Where generally, please?
Generally, in traditional societies, early marriage of women is part of the culture because they're at a reproductive age where. So what I'm saying is you can't. But it's tricky.
Back when the age of.
So, like. There's a whole file that we have on him when it comes to this.
Oh no! Don't even bring it up.
Jesus Christ!
Showing me all the different angles.
No.
And you know, I didn't really look, but like I didn't not look. I'm not gay.
What?
What the?
You're not gay, but you are a PDF. Because you could say the same thing. Somebody who's reasonable, they're like, yeah, there was a 14-year-old swimsuit, but it didn't look like that because I'm not a PDF.
Look in Lalo's eyes, zoom in. If only you knew how bad things really were.
Buddy. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what this is.
Like, he's not even making a face. He's just like just deadpan sociopath.
That is the definition of if only you knew how bad things really were. And if only you knew how bad it smelled on that RV.
You know.
So just no, because guess what? The toilet is broken still.
What the?
Jolo, you're trying to bang this dirty, disgusting fucking e-girl who doesn't bathe, who washes her clothes like once every 3 months in a hotel tub. Okay. And you're getting cucked by her, literally cucked by her father. In an RV that smells like literal shit. Well, the father this is down real bad. This guy is actually on just a lower level of white trash debauchery than even the Ricada polycule. Like he's in the minor leagues of that.
Buddy.
Wow, man. Oh, I'm uploading this as a separate clip. I love it. Like, this is making my mouth watering. Yeah, I gotta get offline here too. See you later, XP. And go over the chat here. Kenny died and came back as a beautiful pug. Cucks by her father. The Ruby, I was hoping you would show back up, Ruby. I knew that you would appreciate this more than anybody.
But
that's a tough place to be,
but
buddy.
It's a father and a fucking daughter in a shit-smelling van talking about pedophilia while he's trying to fucking catch cocked by the father. And you have to hear Grace off her dad at night when you're trying to sleep.
No, well, we're gonna get there. It's
indoors.
Unlike some people.
That, but like, I'm not gay. You know what I mean? It's like
Whoa, wait, hang on. The fucking
the frown.
What?
Using marijuana and alcohol.
All right. That's my cue, guys. Steel Prawn viewers. Oh, Prawn is live right now. Yeah. All right. Well, Prawncess is live. If that's your guys' jam, head over to John Galt or Flow State. Just Tree 411. I fuck with Tree of Logic. Yeah, and thank you guys for watching, being here. I appreciate all of you. Anybody that's done a super chat, it's very kind of you. And Lalo's a fan. Ooh, can you imagine? Can you imagine getting roasted by like that would cut so deep, dude. Like the amount of roasting that they do. Oh, that would cut deep. Night, guys. See you later, all right? Mwah.